All right, today we're cracking open a scientific cold case, one that has been baffling people for literally centuries. We're diving into a phenomenon that is so strange, so fleeting, and so impossible to explain that it feels like it's straight out of science fiction. We are talking about the enduring mystery of ball lightning.
Just let that sink in for a second. We have thousands of reports from totally credible people describing something that our entire understanding of physics says just shouldn't happen. This isn't just a simple puzzle. It's a direct challenge to what we think we know about reality. It's like a glitch in the matrix of science.
So, let's start with the most basic question of all. What is ball lightning? When someone says they saw it, what are they actually talking about? What is the thing we're even trying to explain here?
To solve any mystery, right, you've got to build a profile of your subject. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to sift through all this evidence, these eyewitness accounts from over the years, and basically create a police sketch of this phantom.
You know, what's so wild is that across all these reports, the basics are incredibly consistent. Witnesses almost always describe glowing balls of light, and they usually show up during thunderstorms. Now, their size? That can be all over the place, from as small as a pea to a sphere several meters across. But here's the real kicker. They don't just flash and disappear. They can actually stick around for seconds, sometimes even for minutes. In the world of atmospheric phenomena, that is an absolute eternity.
And this is where things go from weird to completely unbelievable. The behaviors of which defy all logic. People have reported these things passing right through solid glass windows without leaving a scratch. They've been seen rolling along the floor inside a house, or just hovering silently in the middle of a room. Some have even been spotted hitching a ride on an airplane wing. I mean, come on, this is stuff that just doesn't fit into our neat little boxes of physics.
So right here, this is the heart of the whole conflict. On one hand, you have eyewitnesses describing these stable, self-contained orbs of light. But our best guess for what they could be, plasma, right, which is just superheated gas, is incredibly unstable at normal atmospheric pressure. It shouldn't be able to hold a shape for more than a fraction of a second, and it definitely can't pass through a solid wall. What people are seeing, and what science says is possible, are in total opposition.
Okay, so let's get into the investigation. How does science even begin to try and solve this? We're going to line up the main suspects, the leading theories that attempt to explain this phantom once and for all.
Our first suspect is the most obvious one, plasma. The theory here is that maybe, just maybe, some unknown force whips that plasma into a stable, vortex-like structure, kind of like a smoke ring or a tiny glowing tornado. This would explain the glowing sphere for sure, but how does it last so long? And how does it interact with solid objects? Yeah, this theory still has some major holes.
Now, our second theory gets a little more exotic. It suggests that a lightning strike could create a huge burst of microwaves. Now, what if those microwaves get trapped inside a little bubble of plasma? They could bounce around in there, resonating, and basically act like an engine, powering the glowing ball from the inside and keeping it stable. It's a super clever idea, but one that is still highly theoretical.
Our third suspect is completely different. This one says it's not plasma at all, it's a chemical reaction. A lightning bolt hits the ground. Bam! It vaporizes silica from the soil into this cloud of teeny tiny silicon nanoparticles. This cloud then just floats in the air, and as the silicon slowly oxidizes, essentially as it burns, it glows. This actually explains the long duration and the floating behavior pretty well, but passing through walls, that's still a giant question mark.
And here's the fundamental problem with our investigation. We've got this lineup of suspects, and they're all plausible in their own way, but not a single one of them matches the full eyewitness testimony. The silicone theory explains the lifespan, the plasma theories explain the appearance, but no one theory can account for a glowing ball that lasts for minutes and floats right through a solid window. The case is still wide open.
This brings us to what is honestly the most frustrating part of this whole mystery. Why can't we solve this? After centuries of people reporting this, why is ball lightning still a scientific cold case?
The reason is actually pretty simple, and it's a researcher's absolute nightmare. You can't study something you can't find. Ball lightning is incredibly rare. You can't predict when or where it's going to pop up. And even if you get insanely lucky and you're in the right place at the right time, it's gone in seconds or minutes. It's like the perfect scientific crime. It leaves no evidence behind.
And that leads us to this stark, unavoidable number. 0. That's the number of times scientists have been able to reliably create something in a lab that everyone agrees is the real deal. Genuine ball lightning. We can make glowing plasma balls, sure, but nothing that behaves like the phantom that witnesses describe. We just can't get our hands on it to study it.
So, after profiling the phantom, investigating all the theories, and slamming into the roadblock of its elusive nature, what's the verdict? Where does this whole mystery leave us?
We're left with 3 really unsettling possibilities. One, is ball lightning a single, real thing that just operates on some principle of physics we haven't even discovered yet? 2, are we just lumping several different unrelated things, some plasma, some chemical, all under one convenient name? Or 3, and this is the most challenging one, are all these thousands of reports just misinterpretations, optical illusions, or some strange, complex form of shared delusion?
And that, maybe, is the most fascinating takeaway of all. It's not just about a weird weather event. It's about the limits of our own knowledge. The fact that thousands of credible people can see something for centuries that science cannot confidently explain or even confirm exists is a powerful and, frankly, humbling reminder that there are still profound mysteries out there in the world, hovering just beyond the reach of our understanding.